Hello, my dears. What's going on? It's a very astrologically potent week that we've got coming up here. It's going to be the eclipse on the 17th. New moon in Aquarius. And that is also the day that the year of the fire horse begins. I haven't read much about the fire horse yet, but my friend just sent me this really cute zine that was written about it, and I'm looking forward to checking that out because it seems like it's going to be exciting. But anyway, I'm very excited for this week of astrology that we've got coming up. The 20th is also going to be significant. I believe there's a Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. Gonna read more about that too. We're learning. It's Valentine's Day. Yesterday was Friday the 13th. Just the energy is very big right now. A lot of big things going on. So I have no particular downloads for this reading. I'm just going to see what comes out because I know that we're all probably having very unique experiences right now. But myself and all the people around me are feeling it. Feeling spicy, feeling... literally Ace of Wands comes out when I say spicy. Feeling spicy, like tensions are high right now. And I think that's good. I always enjoy eclipse season. Because anything that it brings is what's divinely guided. Might not feel right to us, to our human egos at the moment that it's happening, but I think that if we can take the right perspective about it, we can see how these things are necessary for our spiritual growth. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think the 20th is going to be really significant. I see a lot of people around me going through significant endings. Some that they feel were forced upon them. But remember, we always talk about the tarot, the tower in the tarot. And that the tower never strikes something out of your life. Tower moments don't happen to torture you. Anything that an eclipse season can be very tower energy, like things fall apart. Maybe you weren't expecting them to, but if you can chill enough and regulate your nervous system enough to breathe through it, you'll see that what the tower takes out of your life was never built on solid foundation to begin with. We have the Emperor, so I feel like somebody is attracting a divine partner. We have the Ace of Wands and the Emperor. The Emperor being the 4 card, and Ace of Wands, of course, being fire energy. I've been getting a lot of messages, both in readings for my Patreon folks and just in general in my life. Like, I feel this big energy around April. I think big positive things are going to be happening collectively for us in April. This was a winter. I mean, where I am, we've had the most intense winter that we've had in years. Just weather-wise alone. And of course, politically, I don't even want to start on that. But myself and the people closest to me were very radically optimistic about what's happening. And I don't really want to talk too much about all this stuff because it's very precious, it's very sacred, it's very like something really sacred is moving below the surface here. And I know that it is a very privileged and cavalier thing to say that, like, everything's gonna work out. But I have optimism because the human spirit, 555 on the clock, on the timer when I look down, the human spirit is more powerful than hatred and oppression. And there's been people around me talking about, and like things that I see online and stuff. I feel like a lot of people are having these same feelings of it starts with us on an individual level. Like these massive changes that we want to see happening on a large scale, that all starts at home. That all starts with us. So I was walking to work today and I saw a sticker on a pole that somebody had put there that said, "What would love do?" And I took that with me. So ask yourself, what would love do? Because where there's love, there's not fear. Ace of Wands and the Emperor. Yeah, I have a feeling that this is going to be a love reading. But the Emperor is like the ultimate divine masculine. He could be coming in for you in April with all this 4 and fire energy in these cards already. But this is a divine union that comes in, of course, as a result of your Ace of Wands, of your stepping onto a new spiritual cycle, stepping onto a new timeline yourself. Because remember, we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. So if you're looking for your divine partner from a place of feeling like you need to be saved, feeling like there's a void in your life, feeling bored, feeling like, you know, we have to be really careful. I know, like, I talk about this a lot. I'm in recovery, and I've been in recovery for several years now, but it's like, I have to realize that anything that causes a dopamine reaction in my brain, I'm just gonna move these. Anything that causes a dopamine response in my brain is something that I can get addicted to. And I realized and had to really admit to myself that I was addicted to people, addicted to men. And like, with the absence of a man in my life for a little while, I was contending with this feeling of emptiness and like I wasn't getting some kind of fix, because male attention gets me high. But like processing through that with myself and the healthy channels that I work with on my healing journey, processing through that with my people, I've come to a real space of happiness and grounding and contentment and fullness in my singleness, which is such a blessing and such a miracle. So we have to be really careful that we're not out here searching for a man from a place of wanting to get high, or a place of emptiness, or a place of feeling like, oh, my life is so boring without a man in it. It's like, I don't think I have to tell you this if you've been attracted to this message, but like any relationship that is built from desperation or needing to get high on someone or whatever, that is going to play out a very painful cycle over and over again. And that relationship is going to fall apart in probably a spectacular and very painful way. So there is a divine partner coming in for you, but it is a result of your fullness and your dependence on God. Because the things that God does for you, no human could do. And it's like really that place that we get to in ourselves of truly enjoying our singlehood that attracts in the best kind of person who is also full and complete on their own, who doesn't need us to fill them up. Could you imagine? Could you imagine being on that side of the situation where you have gotten into space with a man who wants you to be his savior, who wants you to be a drug that he gets high on? Like, first of all, that ain't nothing about me. Photo Booth says, yes, that is correct. This man doesn't want me. This man just wants brain chemicals, or to feel like his life is full. How can you, there's a message from my Patreon exclusive readings that was like, based on a message I saw online recently that was like, those who don't have purpose seek pleasure. And it's like, yeah, when we're not using our dopamine system in the proper way, which is for accomplishments, we're going to seek cheap little dopamine fixes through social media, scrolling, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever it is, like attention, whatever, while our dreams and life purpose wither and die. So remind yourself of why you're here. Remind yourself of what you love and what makes you happy. The things that have always been there for you. Remember the dreams you had as a child. And the things that always lit you up. And it might feel like faking it till you make it for a little while, where you're like, all right, I'm going to force myself to take myself out to coffee and have a nice little self-date. I'm going to force myself to invest in singing lessons or whatever it is. Invest in a course, to a new education course for yourself, to expand your mind. Fill your life with yourself. Become obsessed with yourself. And you'll attract in somebody who's obsessed with you in a healthy way. So we have the Ace of Wands, the Emperor, the Four of Cups reversed, and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, something big's happening around April. This could be like you literally meet your divine masculine in April. But the appearance of the Four of Cups here is Four of Cups reversed here is interesting, because it's like no longer turning away from something. You know, I think that sometimes we attract what we are, you know. And sometimes we attract, you know, if you're on the anxious side, sometimes we attract avoidant men because there's stuff that we're avoiding as well. And being put in the position of a chaser with an avoidant man helps you to avoid certain things within yourself. So you're not running away from things anymore. You're facing them head on, Queen of Cups, because you know you have that grounding within yourself to do that work. And I feel called to say, you know, like I've been on a celibacy journey for quite a few years now. And I contend with this fact that, you know, relational wounds can only really be healed completely in relation. Like, celibacy feels really good and it feels really peaceful, and, you know, there's nobody shaking up your snow globe and you get very grounded within yourself. But it's when the rubber meets the road and we're in intimacy with someone else, and it doesn't even have to be all that. It's just like engaged with someone enough where you start to see your old wounds and old patterns coming up, and having that grounding, that safety within yourself, those practices that you've developed over the years, your support network, to slow down and not react to everything when you're engaged with someone. And this is what we got. Divine union. When the Queen of Cups comes into union with the Emperor, this happens for everyone. But this is the work that is ongoing. That when that nervous system dysregulation inevitably comes up when you're engaged with somebody, what do you do? Like, you're going to be watching yourself handle these triggers and things as they come up in a different way than you ever have. Yeah, Aries season is going to be crazy, because like right now we're sliding into Pisces season, where things are going to be very amorphous and spiritual, and I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of hermit energy before the spring and Aries season comes on, which is exactly the way things are supposed to be and flow with nature. It's winter. We're supposed to be within. We're supposed to be reflective and resting more, and leaning more into our feminine energy, planning what you want, big picture, so that when masculine energy season starts to hit in spring and summer, we know exactly the actions to take to get the results that we want. When we have more energy, when the weather is nicer, when we can go outside and actually like be engaged with the world more, That's being in flow with nature. So, yeah, we have a lot to look forward to. This spring is going to be incredible. Aries season is going to be incredible. Pisces season is going to be incredible. 2026 is mad different. There's a lot of potent astrological events on the way. And I would suggest just to really lean on your grounding practices, because stuff is going to get shaken up. And to try not to get bogged down or involved in other people's drama around you, because not everybody around you, and this is not a judgment or like a hierarchy thing, but it's like not everyone around you is going to have the grounding and the regulation and the coping skills that you have. So you could be in close proximity with people who are really losing it through this energy, but stay strong and stay grounded and stay with your practices, because you have so much to look forward to. Yeah. And every day is beautiful. Don't just look forward to April. Every day is beautiful. We're out here romanticizing our lives every day. Okay? I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.